It's another hockey weekend here in Chesterfield at the Maryville University Hockey Center. Tonight we bring you the Indiana Tech Warriors against your Maryville Saints. Good evening, everyone. I'm Todd Panula. I'll be bringing you all of tonight's ACHA action as the Saints take on the Warriors in a battle trying to establish position in the national standings prior to postseason play. As of right now, unless there are any last-minute changes, which can and sometimes does happen, in terms of the schedule, this is the last regularly scheduled season series between these two teams before they head off to their respective conference tournaments. Let's give you the starting lineups for your Maryville Saints. On defense, it's going to be Paige Dawson and Morgan McGowan on the forward line. It will be Sydney Poisson, Sarah Brooks, and centering that line will be Maddie Johnson. In between the pipes is going to be Sawyer Duncan. Mackenzie Adley in the net for the Warriors as we are underway 6 seconds into the first period. These two teams come in with somewhat startlingly different resumes. The Warriors have been absolutely dominant this season. They come in at 24-4, a rather impressive 11-2 record on the year. Their last losses were back on January 14th against Minot State, and prior to that, it was on November 19th. So January 14th and November 19th. So they have definitely spread out their losses, but to their own credit, I should say, the Saints will have an opportunity to improve their record. They have been 6-3-1. That one was a tie. But a pretty decent record here in 2023. Now they give it up. Johnson sends it into the zone, but that one was punched just a little too far wide as she was looking for Pedham Shand. Saints have it in behind their own goal as we settle into the gameplay here. This is knocked up into the air by Brennan. She gives chase, but the Warriors are hemmed inside their own zone, trying to play it off the far boards. It actually went off the linesman. Here comes Gerwitz, comes on around, sends it off the boards, up top to O'Leary, into the zone now. Penalty upcoming. Saints are going to go to the power play. O'Brien plays it off the back of the goal, trying to find O'Leary in front. Instead, it's on for Cooper. They backhand chance was not quite on. Saints still in charge of it. Finally touched up by Avery Johnson. And the Saints will go to the power play. So into the sin bin is Brooklyn Moore. Saints will have a player advantage. Elle Rutherford comes into the face-off dot. She's able to win it. Maddie Johnson on the near side half wall. Back to Gerwitz at the point. Johnson on the wall again. Runs into a little bit of trouble, and the Warriors are going to get it out. Rutherford comes over through the body. Saints get it in on the far side. Poisson to Rutherford in the corner. Poisson now on the wall. Gerwitz straight away at the point. Near circle. Johnson gets it down low. Toe save. And Johnson absolutely blows up one of the Indiana Tech players. And it should be noted that a lot of times body contact is not allowed in women's hockey. That's a debate that I could go on for a while. I feel like if you're going to play a sport, they want the contact, but it was legislated out. But this season, at least in the ACHA, they have relaxed those rules. You're still not allowed to actually check somebody. So obviously with the referee deciding not to call a penalty there, it was deemed a collision, not a body check. Saints come in on the attack. Here's O'Leary trying to guide it on around. Runs into trouble as Yonker stuck out a stick. Saints still have it. Walking the line is Rutherford. Tic-tac-toe, they go to the far circle. A shot and a blocker save. Adley with her second save of the evening. Saints trying to scrape it off the wall. Warriors trying to go up the gut. Held in by St. Louis. She flings one down low to Brooks. Brooks has pressure coming as Episcopo is right on it. I saw that name when I was doing my rosters, and I had to say that I really hope that she's related to Joe Piscopo. I am slightly aging myself. I never got to see him on Saturday Night Live because I'm a little too young to see that, but I saw several videos and whatnot, highlight packages, and that was back when they had some of the classic comedians on that show. But Episcopo and her teammates have done the job. They have killed off the Maryville power play. Saints look for a centering pass. McGowan puts a little flop shot. Toole spins and fires. None of that actually got in on goal as there were too many defenders in the way. Nevertheless, a good start here for Maryville. Warriors still can't send it out. McGowan with a high shot. That's knocked away. Onto the stick now of Nesbitt. Plays it off the boards right in front of her own bench, and it's swept in by Johnson. Warriors will change it up. Saints trying to get it up the far side boards. Toole shuffles it along, but right into trouble. Spun around by Yakachuk. Now back for Episcopo. Warriors looking for an outlet. Saints doing a good job of sealing off the passing lanes. Yakachuk gets it up to the line, but not in. Far side, pushed in by Episcopo. Saints will track it down on the near side. Dawson couldn't quite clear it out. Here's a chance to set it up for Pettimshand. Getting in front of that one was Callhammer. Saints doing a good job here with the physicality in the early going. Bumping and grinding along the near side wall. Just about 6 minutes played here. And despite the fact that it's been a pretty open contest, only 3 shots on goal, 2-1 in favor of the Saints. Now a giveaway, almost set up for Poisson, but her stick got caught up in the apparel of Lauren Yonker. Poisson gets it on the side of the goal, in behind the net. They tried to push it back out in front. Instead, it goes the other way. Poisson on the back check. Throws a bump in between the shoulder blades of Borland. Saints come in on the attack. They push it back to the forehand, but Brooks could not steer it on goal. Poisson with the interception in the middle. Brooks almost sidestepped the defender, but Calverda was able to get just enough on it. Stretch pass. Here's Brooks up the line. Tripped up on the way around. No call. Saints try to brush it up towards the net. Rutherford in on the forward check. Episcopo tries to push it up the dashers. McGowan sends it back the other way. Yeah, that's actually Page. No, that is McGowan. Need to get my eyes checked. These 8s and 9s are starting to blend together. Cross ice. The pass was intended for Nesbitt. Pushed up to the middle. Anderson sends one on goal. Blockered away. They're not going to call that one a save for Duncan, as that one was heading wide. Nope, now they put it up on the board. Scoreboard a little bit slow. Now here comes Pettimshand. She'll take a wrister, and that's off the shin pad of Dawson. Stepping up from the blue line is Terpstra. And that puck came over the blue line and out. 12:07 left to go here in the first period. Couple late shots in the last minute or so by Indiana Tech. have got them 3 on the board. But 0's up for both teams in terms of the goal scoring. Backhanded down low. Duncan put a stick to that one. Actually steered it towards the net. It ended up still wide, but a dangerous play there. Saints try to push it back in on the offensive end. Kelsel into the slot, out of the far circle. Toole dusts it off. Kelsel carries around, trying to put it into the mixer, and Kelsel is denied. Adley was strong on the post. 11:39 left to go here in the first period of a scoreless game. Off the draw. Wouldn't settle down for Maryville. They do hold the zone. Gerwitz with a wrister. Deflected by Johnson. There's a collision in the crease, and we'll get a stoppage. Doesn't look like any penalties will be handed out, but they're just going to say that, I believe the net was actually dislodged. I thought they were just going to say interference on the goaltender, which doesn't always end up in a penalty. But definitely would have taken Adley out of the play. Now Adley makes a save on a great shot from Argyropoulos. Saints are really buzzing pretty well in this game. They've got 4 shots, but it's more the eye test that they're definitely passing. Johnson with a chance. Now Argyropoulos from the hash marks. Oh, just wide. Warriors are able to clear. Maryville's definitely been on their toes thus far in the first period. Kelsel just shuffles it past. Avery Johnson was able to jab it back the other way. Gerwitz off the near side wall. Kelsel into the zone. She's been very active thus far. Oh, that one just wide on the far side. Shot came in from Olivia O'Brien. She cut it back across the grain. Now here's Cooper with a drive right into the belly. Whatever the Saints have put in their water bottles over there, I'll take some of it because they are hopping. Indiana Tech is able to win the faceoff. Skating out, Pedham Shand. Brings it right up the middle, puts it into the mixer. That one knocked away, intended for Juszczyk. Saints get it over the line. Juszczyk picks up the loose change after it was stolen. No icing here. The Saints put it across. Calverda gets it up the line, but held in. Almost a deflection. Johnson was set up in front. Poisson plays it off her teammate's skates. Now Pedham Shand picking up a little bit of space. It's one-on-one with Dawson. Pedham Shand tried to go to the backhand. She was sealed off. Dawson with a little bump. Goes back after the puck. Cooper knocks it down. If it goes far enough, it'll be icing. And it just barely crosses all the requisite lines, so we'll have a stoppage with 9:43 to go here in the first. Saints getting a late change. Williams against Johnson on the faceoff. Saints initially win it, but everybody was just kind of tied up. Now a shot off the blocker as it was twisted on by Williams. Kicked at by the Warriors. Comes near side for Moore. Toole gets a stick to it. Kelsel cannot clear. Moore able to hold the zone. Pushed in towards the slot as they knocked it down for Borland. Warriors push the reset button as it's pushed up. Indiana Tech looking for a little bit of space. Warriors trying to find a seam over on the far side. Now they come up the middle. In with speed. Anderson tried to jab it towards the goal. McGowan almost got up on the offensive end. Stelzer puts a stick in. Knocks it away as Calverda has to come on the chase. Stelzer on the forecheck. Nesbitt drops it off. Yonker at the pass, hands it off to Calverda. Saints with some good forechecking pressure. And now it'll be an icing against Indiana Tech with 8:16 to go in the first period. So the Saints have definitely come ready to play. As of right now, they have not been able to solve the goaltender. 5 shots on goal, 5 saves for Mackenzie Adley. Sawyer Duncan with 4 saves on the evening. Dawson takes the pass from her goaltender, tried to go up the seam. Instead, it's intercepted in the middle. The only thing saving Maryville was the fact that Indiana Tech had a player offside. Pedham Shan took a spill, still got control of the puck as they dump it in. Warriors trying to complete a line change. Juszczyk puts it on through the slot. Callhammer goes up the gut. Filtered through, and it gets caught up in the linesman's skates. Warriors are able to send it down. Kerwitz comes up the near wing. Here comes O'Leary. Saints push it back up towards the line. That was very close to offside. They're going to say that it didn't cross while the Saints were still in the zone, but now the linesman is pointing at the Maryville bench. So he's going to say that they made a change when they weren't allowed to due to the icing call. Off the face-off, put into the middle and a right pad save. Rebound, Duncan with the stop. Fantastic chance for Allison Green. She was alone on the near side, but just didn't really have too much of an angle to get that back towards goal. And Duncan was well positioned. Warriors starting to come here on the offensive end. Slapped over towards the near boards. Stick was lifted of Green. Borland in a tussle on the far side. Poisson gets it out to center. Flipped back in. Yonker got it on goal. That'll count as a save and probably one of the easier ones that Duncan will make tonight. Stepping up was Furbett. Coming up empty though. Second opportunity, gets it up towards the line. Still not over. Terpstra got it over to the far boards. Tapped up for Nesbitt. She sends it in. Saints have it in their own zone. Dawson goes north. Brennan couldn't handle it. The game's become a little bit disjointed for both teams here in the last minute or so. Toole is hauled down at the blue line. Referee not buying it. Rutherford and Brennan trying to tie it up in the corner as they put the sticks in, trying to scrape it off the Dashers. 5:35 to go here in the period, and the ref blows the whistle. He had seen enough of it, so we'll have a face-off inside the Indiana Tech zone. Last minute change for Maryville, and they hadn't quite all gotten to the bench, so the trail linesman says we'll do the face-off over. I think he wasn't necessarily happy with somebody stepping into the circle as well. Loose puck back along the Maryville line. Dawson has it, struggling to get that one down on its face though. It's still on end. It's always interesting to see the ice conditions in these later evening games because they did scrape the ice. They got a fresh sheet down right before the game. Every once in a while, for time constraints, they won't do that as the shot came in from Callhammer. Easy save for Adley. But overall, it just kind of depends on a lot of different factors as to whether the several games that happen throughout the day chew up the ice enough to where it's going to affect things. And I have to kind of wonder if it did on that last play where Saints just could not get that puck to settle down. Now it's another bouncer into the near side corner. Algaropoulos with a centering pass. Too many sticks in the way, though. And that one cleared out as Borland sends it down the ice. Nice touch on it, though, so that no icing. Saints get it down, and now they're going to ice the puck unless Algaropoulos can get on her horse. Didn't have the step, though, so we'll get a stoppage with 4:35 left to go. On the men's side, the Saints were able to complete a series and season sweep over the University of Illinois. 2 straight 5-1 victories the last couple days. Women's team trying to get things rolling here this evening. They'll play again, these same 2 teams, with a 1:15 puck drop. That one will be tomorrow afternoon. Almost a giveaway as Poisson had the stick in the lane, but the puck just barely slid past her. Put into the middle, they were looking for Johnson. And again, Indiana's stick just able to thwart that one. Here's Gerwitz, down low to Poisson. Her shot was blocked. Warriors get it up towards the blue line, skated out by Moore. She'll dump it in once she was across the red line, and they're going to say no, that she didn't gain the red line, and icing is the call. That's somewhat of a mental error there. So the officials trying to get the right players back out on the ice as Indiana Tech was trying to get off on a line change. Knocked up in the air. Glove down by Johnson, and they're going to say it was a hand pass. So another quick stoppage in a first period that's had a decent amount of flow to it, but had a few whistles here in the last couple minutes. Deflected wide by Cooper. It's a good opportunity, just couldn't steer it on that. Johnson digs in, as does O'Brien. The Saints have to regroup back in their own zone. That just nicked off the stick of Cooper, so it avoids an icing call. Nesbitt gave it away. Long shot from McGowan, blockered away. Dawson knocks it down, but unfortunately it went up into the Maryville bench. 239, 259. Oh man, I am struggling with the numbers here this evening. 2:59 left to go here in the first period. The way my brain's working right now, you would think it was 11 o'clock at night instead of 10 minutes to 9. But that's not an excuse. 2:50 left after the glove save. from Duncan. Warriors win the shot. Alverda tried to guide it towards goal. Just too much traffic in the way. Brennan goes skate to stick. Warriors gather it in their own zone. Pedamshan with the soft hands knocks it down. Far wing Yonker. Off a stick on the pressure from Maryville. Stelzer was calling for it. She was all alone in front, but Maryville couldn't settle it down to get that pass across. Gerwitz gallops up to the blue line, glides over the red, and then in on the attack. Forced around. Indiana Tech with the interception. Comes up near wing. Green sends it in. Under 2 minutes to go in the period. Duncan tried to leave it for a defender. Miscommunication there. Furbit kicks at it. Pedamshan is going to get to it. On around. Williams chases it over to the far wing. Too strong for Green as it comes near side. Stelzer ran out of room. Moore with a shot blocked by Gerwitz. St. Louis goes up the middle. Too far for Callhammer. So I think there's a little bit of fatigue setting in for both teams. Gerwitz was bumped off the puck. Maryville tries to find a seam on the far side. Out of the reach of Maddie Beek. She goes back for the Warriors. Intercepted now. Brooks tried to put it into the middle as Johnson was driving. Saints take it back. Backhand chance, pad save. Brooks denied in close. Dawson slaps it back. Final minute of play here in the first. Now Brooks left it. Poisson with a shot. That may have nibbled off the blocker. Loose puck, score! It came loose from the far side. It was sent over towards the near post, and Sarah Brooks has put the Saints on top with 35 seconds remaining in the period. So Brooks at 19:25 breaks the deadlock, and the Saints are up 1-0. Maryville looking for another late one. Usually any goal that you can get in the final minute is a huge swing. Saints up 1-0. Juszczyk couldn't get the shot away. Yonker spins it down low. In behind the net for Yakachuk. Get it to the point. Juszczyk ran out of time. Shot was going wide anyway. So 20 minutes are in the books. And the Saints grab one in the final minute as Sarah Brooks has gained the lead for the Saints. We'll step aside. This is Maryville Saints hockey.
College hockey. It's more than just what school you play for. More than just another sweater you pull on. It's about focus, determination, strategy, and poise. It's more than just packed rinks and screaming fans. It's about heart, skill, and passion. In nearly 30 years of the ACHA, we don't just play the game of hockey. We are the game of hockey. hundreds of elite players and coaches from some of the United States and Canada's most prestigious programs. The American Collegiate Hockey Association. More than just a game.
Moneta may be one of the nation's largest independent wealth managers, but what we pride ourselves on most is serving each client like they're part of the family. That's why we go to extraordinary lengths to help our clients reach their unique financial goals. Whether launching a business, providing retirement planning for employees, or building a multi-generational legacy. At Moneta, whatever you cherish, we help protect it today, tomorrow, and into the future.
When you sign up for hockey, you sign up for the USA Hockey Experience. From your first strides to your first falls, while learning to love the best game on earth, we're there. From your favorite coach teaching you to love and respect the game, to the officials who are dedicated to keeping the ice fair and safe, we're there. For every celly in the corner, or big save in a shootout to win an overtime game at Nationals, we're there. As you develop on the ice and begin dreaming of wearing the red, white, and blue with a gold medal around your neck, we're there. And once the youth hockey experience comes to an end and you realize hockey is a sport that lasts a lifetime, we're there. Even if you're not sure there's a sport for you, we're there to make sure hockey is accessible for everyone. And as a hockey parent on this journey, we're there for you too. From your first drive to the rink and your first attempt at dressing your new hockey player, we're there. Whenever you're concerned about safety, both at and away at the rink, we're there. In the moment when you see your child grow into a young adult that you're so very proud of, we're there. Coaches, whether you're new to the sport and wanting to give back to your community, or an experienced bench boss striving to raise your hockey knowledge, we're there. And officials, from learning the rules of the game as a teenager to developing your skills into a lifelong passion, and for some, working the Olympic or Paralympic Games, we're there. When you join the USA Hockey Experience, the ice rink will become your second home. Your team will become your second family. Everything you want to achieve and more, every success and failure, we will be there to make sure that hockey is there for you.
Red Brick Roofing, wherever you live, from Bridgeton to Baldwin, Brentwood to Kirkwood, St. Anne to St. Charles, wherever you live. Hazelwood to Maplewood, the name you know. Red Brick Roofing, wherever you go. For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof, Red Brick Roofing.
St. Louis, 314-645-2000.
I think the thing I love most about going back to St. Louis are the people.
Every time I come back, there's something new.
There's so much of the city that I have yet to explore.
From Six Flags to the Science Center to the Louvre.
Ted Drew's.
Hey, and what about the sports? Come on.
You have to get to a Cardinals game, you have to get to a Blues game.
I mean, you have to see the Arch if you go to St. Louis.
It is Instagram bait.
St. Lou is home. It's my home.
What you want, Lou Fuse has got it.
For the past 70 years, Lou Fuse has called St. Louis home, growing our dealership and community family, delivering the best experience.
LOUFUSZ, where we'll treat you right, you'll see. RESPECT, get the respect that you'll need.
With 17 brands, 12 dealerships, thousands of new, certified pre-owned, used and motorsport vehicles, and millions of happy customers, Lou Fuse is here for you. Year after year, Lou Fuse has been proud to support youth athletics, honored to give back to community charities, and happy to deliver the respect and customer service you deserve.
LOUFUSZ, treat you right for 70. LOUFUSZ, it's our anniversary.
Come celebrate our 70th anniversary with us, with anniversary savings and specials all year long. And everyone gets the Fuse Family Promise, including warranties on new and Fuse certified vehicles, a money-back guarantee, and exchange policy.
LOUFUSZ, where we treat you right, you'll see.
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. Lost together, we discovered ourselves again. And we realized that the things that matter deserve time. From now on, we're not going to leave anything on our plates. Because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there. And they never tasted this good.
In today's sports world, high-quality video and accurate data are key elements for improving team results, player development, and fan engagement. Pixelot, the world's leading AI automated sports production company, provides an end-to-end video and data solution for fans, players, and coaches. Pixelot systems are installed around the world and produce thousands of live matches every day with customized live graphics, ads, color commentary, and play-by-play.
Left wing feed goes.
At the end of the game, our AI generates highlight reels 100% automatically. Analysts and the coaching staff get video breakdowns and stats from VidSwap, Pixelot's video analysis platform. Each game captured is automatically broken down by sports professionals on a video editing platform for in-depth analysis. The real-time game breakdowns from live video and official data include shot charts, heat maps, and detailed game, team, and player stats. The platform offers a variety of editing and self-coding tools, so you can easily review plays and coach your team better both during and after the game. This all-in-one, cost-effective solution also allows you to telestrate, tag, and add notes to each move, and watch your upcoming opponent's matches on the Video Exchange platform. Pixelot produces and analyzes thousands of games every single day from over 130 leagues and tournaments around the globe. Join the AI revolution in sports.
A lot of the times, students that are thinking about entering our program, they have a lot of questions. They've done their research. A lot of the questions that the students have are based upon outcomes. Where am I going to be 4 years from now if I decide to be in the Rawlings Sport Business Management Program? Here, I'll show you. Here's where our alumni work now. We have students working in the athletic department at universities. We have students working for sports teams. We have students working for sports agencies, whether it be an abstract marketing, a Learfield Sports, an IMG, Those are a lot of the organizations that are hiring our students. And we do have a lot of our alumni who do work for sports teams, whether it be the Houston Rockets, the Kansas City Royals, the St. Louis Cardinals, St. Louis Blues. Many of our students have worked for those agencies and continue to work for those types of organizations now.
This is the letter I've been telling you about.
This letter is for you. From what I hear, you're supposed to be the next Tom Brady. What I'm about to say is important. Never let them call you the next Tom Brady. When they compare you to the GOATs, tune it out. When they say you're a 6th round draft pick, store it away. Compare yourself to nobody but the kid in the mirror. The one who goes all in, all out, and has the crazy confidence to know that who you are today is just a piece of who you're going to become. This letter's for that you, the one no one will see coming. Sincerely, Tom.
What about your dreams, man?
College hockey. It's more than just what school you play for. More than just another sweater you pull on. It's about focus, determination, strategy, and poise. It's more than just packed rinks and screaming fans. It's about heart, skill, and passion. In nearly 30 years of the ACHA, we don't just play the game of hockey. We are the game of hockey. Hundreds of elite players and coaches from some of the United States and Canada's most prestigious programs. The American Collegiate Hockey Association. More than just...
And welcome back to the Maryville University Hockey Center. Just about set to drop the puck here on the second period. Todd Panula along with you as we are underway in the second 20 minutes of play. Saints have a 1-0 lead on the Sarah Brooks goal that came at 19:25. Saints had a really good first period. Shots are 10-7. But even regardless of the offense, it was a solid 20 minutes of play by the Maryville Saints, and they were rewarded in the final 60 seconds to get a goal. Johnson wasn't expecting that puck to come her way. It goes over to the far side. Warriors are able to steal it away off the boards. Cycling on around is Yakachuk. Tries to put one in towards the middle. That one went off a skate. McGowan tried to get it down as it's tied up in the corner. Warriors doing a good job to hem things in here in the first minute or so. Out of the far side for Calverda. Saints are able to pop one up the boards, but not out. Maryville player went down. No penalty coming up. They try to get a hold of it on the far side, right in front of the Indiana Tech bench. 90 seconds gone. Brooks gets it over the line. Not very far, but at least far enough that they can get a change. Dawson has it on the near wing. Pops one way up into the air. It went off a stick inside the Maryville zone, so no icing. Beek is back for Indiana Tech. Stolen by Poisson. Plays it along for Brennan. And then the pass went all the way through everybody. Stretch pass goes the other way, and they wave off icing. Bit of a clock malfunction, unless my eyes deceive me. I thought the time went off the clock for just a moment. Here's a wrist shot in, and that one just went wide. Gerwitz with the chance. Kelso steps up. Brennan trying to sweep it down low. Kelso kicks at it. Keeps it in the zone. Goes into the corner for Toole. Popped over to the far side. Brennan digs at it. Couldn't get it. Now Kelso steps up to hold the zone. Nicely intercepting that pass. A bouncer to the point. Gerwitz slaps it down low. Stelzer spins to the forehand. Oh, she had a player in front, but St. Louis couldn't track it. That was actually Callhammer that was in front. Here's Kelso up through the middle. Too strong for Callhammer on the dump. Tepstra. Couldn't clear it out. Saints with a chance. It's bouncing in front. It's loose at the top of the crease. And instead, it's taken down and cleared away by Borland. In on goal. Duncan didn't have much of an opportunity to play that puck, so she covers. Now we'll get a face-off inside the Maryville zone with 16:31 to go in the second. And now with speed comes O'Leary. She puts one towards the goal on the backhand. That's sticked away. Adley with the save. Her 10th of the night is Saints now have 11 shots on goal. A flutterer over towards the far corner, picked up by Cooper. Rutherford was there as well, but instead it's taken. O'Leary steals it back for the Saints. O'Leary from the angle, that's off a stick and over towards the far boards. Stepping up is Furbett to keep it alive. O'Leary in behind the net, centers it. Nobody home for Maryville. Furbett with a slap shot, that's blocked. Gerwitz backhands it down low. Calverda has her pocket picked. Johnson on the backhand, leaves it at the hash marks. Kelso activates. Poisson carries to the side of the net, tries to jam it in, and it's covered by Adley. 15:31 to go here in the second period, and after a bit of a slow start in the first 90 seconds or so, Maryville has come back to life. Jabbed up the wall. Indiana Tech recovers it. Now they've got numbers. They push it forward despite having a 3-on-2 drive up the ice. Kelsel loses it. It's put in front. They were looking for Yakachuk. She picks up the loose puck, puts it in front again, and the shot just wide by Juszczyk. Pedem drops it off for Juszczyk. Juszczyk puts it in behind the net. Yakachuk lost control of it. Maryville cannot clear, though. Yakachuk on their backhand. Pushes it back towards the blue line, into the high slot, leaves it. Episcopo with a shot. That's knocked wide. Johnson slaps it over to the far side. Off the dashers and out. Episcopo feathers one back in, delayed offsides. Pedem comes in on the forward check. Kerwitz goes up the gut. Settled down by Brennan. She comes in on the near wing. Brennan puts it into the middle, and it hops over the stick of Rutherford. Dawson keeps it alive. Spun towards goal by Brooks. L. Rutherford on the puck. Back to McGowan at the point. Wrist shot blocked. Rutherford picks up the loose change. Toole spins towards goal. Her pass was denied. Back to the point for McGowan. Spun out. Dawson right back in. Saints going to do a partial line change with 13:55 to go in the second period. Now Toole gets it on the near side towards the corner. McGowan fires it down low from the point. Episcopo comes up through the middle. That was in behind Green. Saints are back in their own zone. Dawson drives up into the offensive end. She stick handles all the way. One-timer for St. Louis, and it wouldn't connect with the stick. Stick knocked out of the hands of Johnson. That's going to draw a penalty, and the Saints are about to be shorthanded. So we welcome into the broadcast booth John Hogan, head of the Maryville Saints ice hockey program. Coach, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
It's been a minute since I've been on this. So, been a little busy this year with 5 teams, so glad I'm able to be on it, and good hockey game thus far.
Yeah, I would imagine you're definitely a busy guy with 2 women's programs now and adding a Division III men's program.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is the best part of the season when you got postseason kind of on the brink, and it's kind of fun to play a game like this in Indiana Tech that's kind of a newer team, and, us that's kind of still trying to find our way. So top 10 matchup and with teams that are a little newer to the league and still trying to kind of find their way and improve themselves.
Borland took a shot that went off of Duncan and got in behind her but went wide. And we've got Division II regionals coming up next weekend as well, so to your point, it's a busy time.
Yes, it is. You got M2 regionals. So the 2 winners there will go to regionals, and then the same weekend we got the WMCH tournament. So, which the WMCH, it's the conference that our women's 1 team. Our team plays in. So it's the best conference in the land, and it's going to be great hockey and hopefully a great tune-up game for a national tournament run in Boston. So both of these teams, Indiana Tech and Maryville, are teams that are going to be going to nationals here in about a month.
So icing was the call against Indiana Tech. So somewhat of a mental error as they're on the power play for another 124. Morgan McGowan is the one in the box for Maryville. Rutherford with a nice steal in the offensive zone, and then she's bumped out along the end wall. Lost her twig in the process.
Yeah, I think Coach Lang wanted a call there. You always can hope Tommy, he's going to help the refs out to make sure they know what he has to think about every call, doesn't he?
Well, that's why the coaches make the big bucks. You change the referees' minds all the time, right?
I do not. That is not how it happens. I don't think a ref has ever changed his mind, but it makes us feel a little better, eh?
Right, yeah. Saints are able to clear this one. 12 minutes left to go in the period. Episcopo comes up and then drops it off. Yakachuk tries to find a seam. Looking off the boards for Junker. Saints are able to disrupt that play, but couldn't find enough possession to clear it out. Yakachuk drops it off. Junker just outside the slot. Shot was blocked. Yakachuk goes cross ice. Tic-tac-toe passing, and then a rainbow shot ended up just knocked wide. Gerwitz will send it up to the line and bodied down by Junker. Junker takes a spill. Toole can't clear it. But the Saints have killed off the power play. 11-10 left to go here in the second period.
Yep. It's Sid that was springing there.
Toole comes up the near wing, gains the red line, and tosses it in as she goes off on a change. That hits that stick that L. Rutherford had dropped. Johnson fires it back around. That one avoids the stick. Williams is back, pops one up towards the blue line.
Uh-oh.
Caught up in the skates of Dawson, and then she takes an elbow to the cage. Williams comes in on the attack. Drives towards the far wing. Into the mixer.
Did she save that? Holy cow.
Sawyer Duncan coming up with an unbelievable save on the one-time play in front for Borland.
Let's remember that one here in a little bit. What a phenomenal save.
That was dislodged in the process, but that's still a good post-to-post save. 10:33 to go in the second period. Face-off won by the Warriors. They pop one in towards the circle. It's fluttering around, and the Saints are able to get it out. Gerwitz in behind the goal line. Looking up for Poisson. Up to the red line. Anderson is back for the Warriors as she goes cross ice. Episcopo getting a little fancy on the pirouette. Blowing a tire was McBain, but she's able to knock it down on a second attempt. Poisson chops it over towards the far wing. Rutherford catches up to it. Bodied into the boards. Hacking and whacking along the dashers.
Nice
Rutherford
play.
comes out of it. From the circle, stick handling around. Back to Gerwitz at the point. Shot on, pad save. And the puck collected by the defender. Handed right back to Maryville.
She goes by Ruth, but wow, what a play there. To just kind of bounce off some contact, make a little space for yourself there. All of this possession's coming from Ruth there, making a little time and space for herself.
So I remember her dad telling me about that. Do you know the origin of that, how they came up with Ruth?
I'm just assuming Rutherford, and you shorten that, it's got to be Ruth, right?
That would make sense. Usually that's what you do in hockey.
Yeah,
either there's an ER or an O ended to the to
maybe
last name
an IE and a Y. We're not the sharpest tools in the shed, so.
11 minutes gone here in the second period.
They're going to hop.
That one went off a body from the far side. Too close for comfort, so Adley will cover it up.
Never a bad thing to throw it on net, eh? Good things happen when you throw it on net. Looks like a change here coming for the Saints. Well, we got St. Louis here coming on.
St. Louis, Brennan, and Callhammer, the forwards.
Not a lot of Americans out here, are they?
Not in terms of names, no.
Yeah.
Out of the reach of St. Louis, Callhammer tries to catch up to it. They brush it along the boards.
Nice play.
Diving play to keep it alive, at least for the moment, by McGowan. St. Louis is spun around. Right back in, and they're going to call it offside. 8:36 to go as we'll have a neutral zone face-off.
The longer this goes, the tighter it is, the best. It's good for the Saints here. Indiana Tech has really had a nice season, and I think I can speak for Tommy. We're trying to find a little bit of our legs here to make sure we're going into nationals the right way. So we have played some really good hockey thus far in this game.
Callhammer drops it off. Brennan to St. Louis. Backhand chance put wide. It wouldn't settle onto the stick of St. Louis nicely, but still got the opportunity. Callhammer dishes in, but it was intercepted. Yakachuk sends it the other way. Brought down by Dawson. Kicked into the offensive zone. Pedam-Shan had it for a moment. Yakachuk on it now on the half wall. Pedam-Shan takes a spill. Referee thought about it, but keeps the arm out of it, the arm down, I should say. Long shot in. Oh, that hit the crossbar. Duncan never saw that one.
Goalie's best friend.
Now one-timer, and they score. A good setup from down low. Sterling Nesbitt bangs it past the goaltender, and it's 1-1.
Coach Lang was up on the boards on that one. I don't know what he was a little upset about, but I don't know if it was one of the players or one of the refs, but what a shot there. Nothing Sawyer can do on that one.
Not really sure she even saw it.
Yeah, I think it was in the back of the net before she saw it there. She was still trying to come up with the second or third rebound, and a one-timer from about 10 feet away. Good luck.
So Nesbitt evens things up at 12-19. 1-1 score. Saints come in on the forecheck. O'Leary trying to pilfer it away. That one went off the backside of one of the Warriors. Now they're going to ice it.
Talk about a game of momentum and chances. St. Louis goes down, almost gets a goal for the Saints. It could be 2-0, and then in the blink of an eye, it's 1-1 with 7 minutes left here. So big saves, big opportunities on either side, and we get ourselves a ball game.
An opportunity to test the mettle, if you were, for Maryville. See how they respond. Warriors had the puck. Kelsel slapped it towards net. That was knocked down by Williams. Carried into the offensive zone on the far wing. Williams driving to the middle, but a good defensive play by Gerwitz to separate player from puck.
She sure is a luxury to have on the back end, isn't she?
Even when you think she's out of the play, she manages to get right back into it.
Nope.
Slapped out. Oh, just knocked away from Poisson. Otherwise, she was streaking towards goal. Pedam-Shan guides it in as just Jack comes in. Gerwitz is there for Maryville. Puts it right back into the scrum. Pedam-Shan trying to spin it back to her forehand. Instead, it's Episcopo. There's a player down for Maryville. That's Johnson. The shot was stopped by Duncan. Saints cleared out as there's a collision in front of the Indiana Tech bench. Warriors push the reset button in their own zone. Rink wide, it comes into the near side corner, deflected in to avoid an icing call.
Nope.
Burbit lost control of it. Might have been for the better if she had carried it into traffic. That would have been pretty bad. Here comes Rutherford.
The freshman superstar.
Rutherford takes a spill in front. She ran into a body. She's going to go off on a change now. Nesbitt has it. The goal scorer drops it off, and they get it into the zone, tapped in by Johnson.
Indiana Tech, I've been watching this game now for about 35 minutes. They are a phenomenal passing team, and for a second-year program, with not a lot of chemistry, I'm sure, after a year or two, the passing is just very precise. And as a top-5 team, I guess that doesn't shock you, but for a second-year program, it sure does.
They come in with a sparkling 24-4 record.
It's impressive.
Only 2 losses on the road. That's just as impressive to have that kind of cohesion when you're away from the friendly confines.
Ooh. Nope, no one touched the puck. We're all game. Got a 2-on-1.
Saints come in on the attack. Numbers even out. It's Williams got back, and then she cross-checks St. Louis. I mean, that was up high, so that'll be interesting if that's going to be a 2 or a 4. It's just going to be the 2 minutes, but Saints with an opportunity to regain the lead now on the power play.
Really interesting to see how we go into the third period. I think Indiana Tech has taken a little of the momentum here, kind of can squash some of that, see if we can get a goal here, maybe even up the shots here going into the third period.
So the Saints with the numbers advantage. They get it, the face-off win. Gerwitz over to Johnson. She gets it down low. quick passing as they were trying to set up Poisson on the back door. To the far side hash marks. Johnson gives it up. Gerwitz back to Johnson. Top of the circle. Nice feed in front, but it was disrupted by a defensive stick. Rutherford back to Poisson. Straight away for Gerwitz. Steps over to the right-hand side, and then the shot was eaten alive by Adley. Shots are 17-12 in favor of Maryville right now. They've still got 95 seconds left on the power play.
You got to think that, unfortunately, the more high-impactful shots are coming probably in favor of Indiana Tech right now.
Definitely starting to go in the Warriors' favor.
Yep.
On around goes Johnson. She goes around the world all the way to the far circle. Shot, and the rebound was there, but Poisson was a step too slow. Back into the slot. Now to Johnson outside. Gerwitz near side for Poisson. Looking for Brennan into the middle. She keeps it alive after a little bit of a scrum in front. St. Louis fresh off the bench. Gerwitz at the point. No deflection available on the shot as it ricochets off the end wall. 60 seconds left in the power play. Gerwitz didn't have much space. St. Louis tries to go cross ice. Defensive stick knocked it down. Brennan goes to the bench. Out comes Toole. Toole on the half wall. Back to the blue line. Gerwitz walks along. Picked up off the boards. St. Louis gives it to Gerwitz. Poisson goes skate to stick. Trying to keep it in the zone. Gerwitz to Brooks. She's spun around. Warriors knock it down, and they will clear it out.
I think Coach Lang wanted things to calm down a little bit. That Indiana Tech power PK unit had been out there for about a minute 30.
Still 15 seconds left. But Indiana Tech, I should say, comes in. The shot was blocked by Gerwitz.
There it is. Give them the puck.
Saints.
Nope.
Not wanting to give it up here. Duncan doesn't go off. So we'll get a hooking call as the stick of Borland got caught up in the midsection. And the Saints will go right back to the power play.
I know Coach Lang likes his power play one, but they've been out there. Emma Gerwitz had been out there for a whole 2 minutes there. So see if we go with power play number 2 or maybe a timeout by Coach. But it is 1-1. He might need that timeout later in the game.
So Gerwitz will take a seat, and it looks like they're going to go with some fresh legs. Brooks, Toole, St. Louis, O'Leary, and Dawson. Dawson has the puck on her backhand. Stops just outside the circle. St. Louis straight away, near side for O'Leary. Goes across the rink.
There it is.
St. Louis was tied up for a brief moment. Dawson with a shot. That one went through traffic, but Adley saw it in time. So I got an important question to ask.
Uh-oh.
This is completely important. Why is it so dang cold in here?
It's a great question. So it's funny. We played at Afton the first year of our program's history, and then talk about an ice box in Afton. And we thought we were going to come to this nice new rink, and it'd be a little warmer. But it's not. So this is a new – they're going to even up here. This is a new rink, and all of the new rinks, their chillers are on a Freon system. So those new systems need to be 5 or 6 degrees cooler than a typical rink. So if you go to an old rink and a new rink, this being a newer rink, a lot of the times it feels a little colder inside because it has to be. So I guess when you're on the bench and you're sweating and you're yelling a bunch, I guess you kind of get used to it. When you're up here with Todd and he's all calm, cool, collected, just trying to call a nice game up here. Maybe he doesn't have the heat and the energy, so maybe I need to come up here and heating things up a little bit.
Right? Yeah, you gotta bring that kinetic energy up here. Especially when you're here for multiple games.
Yes.
It starts getting into the hands.
I'll get you some warmers.
Intercepted on the way through. Sprung out for Johnson. We'll skate forward aside for 66 seconds as that one went off the side of the cage. 1:45 left in the period. Open shot for Gerwitz. That one went off Pedham Shan. She's shaken up, but brushes it off. Now Poisson tried to dig in. She doesn't have a stick.
Oh.
Backhand chance. Kelso with an opportunity.
Oh.
And she's going to draw a penalty. Cross-checking will be the call again, so now it'll be a 4-on-3.
I don't know if Coach Lang practiced power play and special teams this week, but I sure hope he did. My Lord. Lots of 5-on-4. Now we got 4-on-3. Everything's been thrown our way in a pretty exciting game on this Saturday night.
The referee was, so we get a timeout taken here.
Didn't I call that a couple minutes ago? Could have sworn I did that.
You were a little slow.
Hi, guys. I get told that by my assistant and my players all the time.
But, yeah, it's interesting to see how the game has kind of swung because in the first period there was a lot of physicality that was allowed. Now there's been a little too much stick play, so the referee clamping down.
Yeah, it looks like, again, I've been watching more intently here the second period, but it looks more maybe some cross checks and maybe some more head contact. So seems like he's calling it both ways here in the second period. So shots a little weighted in Maryville's favor. I'm assuming Tommy Lang, coach, is drawing something up because for the most of the second period here, the rest of the second period, it's going to be power play, almost a 4-on-3 for the Maryville Saints.
Obviously, we're not in their heads, but just from what you've seen, does Indiana Tech look like maybe they're getting a little bit frustrated?
Just by the side, it looks like a bit of a smaller bench over there. So I don't know if they brought everyone. And again, you could say, well, there's two people in the penalty box right now. But it does seem like a bit of a lighter group. And I know in February there's always some sickness, some illness, and some banged-up bodies. So, maybe that's a little bit of that, some fatigue maybe. And you probably wouldn't think it'd be in the first game, but there could be something to that.
Gerwitz gets it. The shot, a bouncer, ended up just wide. Johnson brings it over here to the near wing. Leaves it for Dawson. Outside the slot, the shot was knocked away. Another chance. Williams can't clear as Gerwitz keeps it alive. Down low for Poisson. Gerwitz on the circle. Dawson on the near side. Shot to the glove hand, and that's in the trapper.
4-on-4 here in about 13 seconds. So interesting to see what four Tommy puts out here because it's going to be 4-on-4 for looks like most of the second period here to end.
57 seconds left in the middle frame. Saints are going to go with Rutherford, Brooks, Kelsel, and Gerwitz.
Seems like Gerwitz hasn't come off the ice the whole second period, my Lord.
Not too much. Near side circle, Kelsel puts it in, and it's loose in front.
Oh.
Rutherford got a jab at it, but it was too close to the goaltender to lift up. Now Gerwitz with a high shot, glove down. Rutherford sweeps it near side. Glanced off the back of the cage, and now it's 4-on-4. Kelsel drives in towards the corner. Bumped by Pedham Shan, but she still got it. Gerwitz walks the line, takes the shot. That's blocked. Gets her own rebound.
She's a shoot first, ask questions later kind of gal. You got the half clap from G. Let's see if they get her over to it with about 15 seconds left.
Goes down low, but the stick was lifted. Yonker had it for a moment. It was sealed off by Johnson. Brooks comes over to help. Now the power play begins again for Maryville. Out of the box is O'Leary. Trying to dig in, but they pin it up against the wall, and we won't get a late shot. So the only goal of the game, of the period, goes to Nesbitt for Indiana Tech, and we have a 1-1 game after 2.
Thanks for having me. Hopefully I didn't get in your way, my friend.
No, I enjoyed it. Anytime you want to come up here. Especially if I'm alone like this.
There you go. I'll come warm you up, brother.
So we thank Coach Hogan for joining us here in the broadcast booth. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll talk things over in the intermission report. This is Maryville Saints hockey.
college hockey. It's more than just what school you play for. More than just another sweater you pull on. It's about focus, determination, strategy, and poise. It's more than just packed rinks and screaming fans. It's about heart, skill, and passion. In nearly 30 years of the ACHA, we don't just play the game of hockey. We are the game of hockey. Hundreds of elite players and coaches from some of the United States and Canada's most prestigious programs. The American Collegiate Hockey Association. More than just a game.
Moneta may be one of the nation's largest independent wealth managers, but what we pride ourselves on most is serving each client like they're part of the family. That's why we go to extraordinary lengths to help our clients reach their unique financial goals. Whether launching a business, providing retirement planning for employees, or building a multi-generational legacy. At Moneta, whatever you cherish, we help protect it today, tomorrow, and into the future.
When you sign up for hockey, you sign up for the USA Hockey Experience. From your first strides to your first falls, while learning to love the best game on earth. We're there. From your favorite coach, teaching you to love and respect the game, to the officials who are dedicated to keeping the ice fair and safe. We're there. For every celly in the corner, or big save in a shootout to win an overtime game at Nationals. We're there. As you develop on the ice and begin dreaming of wearing the red, white, and blue with a gold medal around your neck, we're there. And once the youth hockey experience comes to an end and you realize hockey is a sport that lasts a lifetime, we're there. Even if you're not sure there's a sport for you, we're there to make sure hockey is accessible for everyone. And as a hockey parent on this journey, we're there for you too. From your first drive to the rink and your first attempt at dressing your new hockey player, we're there. Whenever you're concerned about safety, both at and away at the rink, we're there. In the moment when you see your child grow into a young adult that you're so very proud of, we're there. Coaches, whether you're new to the sport and wanting to give back to your community, or an experienced bench boss striving to raise your hockey knowledge, we're there. And officials, from learning the rules of the game as a teenager to developing your skills into a lifelong passion, and for some, working the Olympic or Paralympic Games, we're there. When you join the USA Hockey Experience, the ice rink will become your second home. Your team will become your second family. Everything you want to achieve and more, every success and failure, we will be there to make sure that hockey is there for you.
And welcome into the intermission report. 1-1 after 40 minutes of play. The Saints all tied up with the Indiana Tech Warriors. It's been a pretty entertaining game overall throughout the first two periods of play. A little bit of lulls here and there with the teams kind of trying to figure out what the opponent is trying to do in each situation. But for 40 minutes, Maryville you don't really necessarily want to say that they've been the better team, but they've had plenty of energy, and they have definitely come to play in this first game of a 2-game series against Indiana Tech. We talked about it with Coach Hogan. We talked about it in the opener with Indiana Tech having such a sparkling record, 24-4 coming in, 11-2 on the road. So they are definitely one of the top teams in the country. So Maryville trying to see how they measure up. The Saints still a ranked team overall, but they come in at 12-3, 5-4-2 on home ice. So they were trying to improve that here and getting a result, preferably a win here tonight, but really any kind of point situation would benefit the Maryville Saints overall, especially going up against a team the quality that they are. It was the first goal of the game back in the first period. That came from Sarah Brooks at 19:25, so she scored with 35 seconds left. And it was a nice late goal as the Saints were able to get it down towards the goal line and just a little chip in on the backside, and that would make it 1-0. But unfortunately, the Saints, despite the overall better run of play on the offensive side, they outshot Indiana Tech in this period 14-5. But it was Nesbitt that would score at 12-19 to even things up for the Warriors. As again, everything seems to have kind of transpired down in this right-hand side. Warriors were able to get it from the end wall back out in front. Nesbitt on the left circle was able to chop it past the goaltender, as we mentioned during the run of play. I'm not really even sure that Duncan had a chance to react to that shot. It came so quickly off the blade of Nesbitt, as she has the game-tying goal as of right now. So it all comes down to the third period. Could be a situation where the next goal wins. We'll have to wait and see what we have in store in the third period of regulation. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have the puck drop. Keep it here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network.
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. Lost together, we discovered ourselves again. And we realized that the things that matter deserve time.
For two.
From now on, we're not going to leave anything on our plates. Because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there. And they never tasted this good.
Coke with coffee. We blended Coke with rich coffee for one very good reason. Your afternoon pick-me-up routine needed it. Simple as that. Coke with coffee.
For the past 70 years, Lou Fuse has called St. Louis home, growing our dealership and community family, delivering the best experience.
LOUFUSZ, where we'll treat you right, you'll see. RESPECT, get the respect that you'll need.
With 17 brands, 12 dealerships, thousands of new, certified pre-owned, used and motorsport vehicles, and millions of happy customers, Lou Fuse is here for you. Year after year, Lou Fuse has been proud to support youth athletics, honored to give back to community charities, and happy to deliver the respect and customer service you deserve.
LOUFUSZ, treat you right for 70. LOUFUSZ, it's our anniversary.
Come celebrate our 70th anniversary with us, with anniversary savings and specials all year long. And everyone gets the Fuse Family Promise, including warranties on new and Fuse certified vehicles, a money-back guarantee, and exchange policy.
LOUFUSZ, where we treat you right, you'll see.
There's power in numbers. Number ones will cook you with that first step.
Your L, sir. Compliments of the chef.
Number 10s, more gold than Midas.
Midas who?
24s will live in your head. 33s put in so many hours, they'll be the first to defeat Father Time.
What you got, 33?
Time's up, old man.
Run it back. I said run it back.
50s, ice in their veins. And 87s are so good, they just set up shop in the end zone.
Next!
There's power in numbers. Take yours. Powerade. More power for 0 to 99, more power for me.
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. Lost together, we discovered ourselves again. And we realized that the things that matter deserve time. From now on, we're not going to leave anything on our plates. because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there. And they never tasted this good.
Coke with coffee. We blended Coke with rich coffee.
And welcome back to the Maryville University Hockey Center. Todd Panula along with you. Third period action has begun with the Saints still on the man advantage for the next 30 seconds. Less than that now as the Indiana Tech Warriors are able to clear it down the ice. Kerwitz finds it below the goal line. Johnson skates it up the near wing. Gains the blue line on the attack. Brendan is in support. Rutherford is in the middle. Johnson carries on around. Poisson takes a player out. Almost a backdoor play there. The shot was on for Brooks, but couldn't steer it on target. So I mentioned it in the intermission. It still bears repeating that the shot breakdown is somewhat interesting in this game. Maryville had 10 shots in the first period, got the goal. They get 14 in the second period, don't get a goal. Their defense statistically plays better because they only allowed 5 shots. But Indiana Tech ends up with the goal to tie things up in the second period. Back to 5-on-5 play. Williams punched it over towards the far side. On now for Calverda. Her shot was knocked down. She's able to spike it down to Borland. Toole digs in. Gerwitz will catch up to it in behind the net. Slammed off of a stick over towards the near boards. Now the Saints send it up the wing. Poisson is in one-on-one with Calverda. Poisson puts the shoulder down, drives in towards the goal, and a save made by Adley. Just ran out of space. Tight quarters there for Maud St. Louis. But she did a good job of body position to drive past the defender and push towards that far post. The goaltender was in position. Dusted into the zone by Pedham Shand. McGowan reverses it. Nobody knows that that's been done, though, for Maryville. That'll allow Juszczyk to get onto it. She reverses back the other way. She was looking for Yakachuk. The Saints carrying on the offensive end. Brooks around the defender, trying to get it towards goal. She's going to draw a penalty. Saints are on it. Duncan trying to get off the ice. Won't do it in enough time, but the Saints back to the power play for the 5th time this evening. Not all of them have been full power plays, but still counts in the statistics. So body checking was the call there, and that kind of goes to what I was talking about earlier, to where you're not allowed to make full contact, but that's kind of within the referee's discretion these days. But that one definitely denied an opportunity to get towards goal for Brooks, so now they head off onto the power play. Episcopo ties things up as Brooks and I believe that's Callhammer kicking at that puck, trying to get it out. Finally they do. Here's Dawson with a slap shot. That's off a shin pad, and now Williams is going to bring it in. Shorthanded break for Williams. She cuts back to the forehand, scores! Shorthanded goal for Genesee Williams, and it's 2-1 in favor of Indiana Tech. So the Saints still on the power play, but Paige Dawson's shot was blocked by Williams, and then she went off to the races. Was able to scoop it over Sawyer Duncan. And now we are in a deficit from the Maryville Saints perspective. 2:12 the time of the goal here in the third period, shorthanded for Genesee Williams. Saints getting into the near side corner, rolls down low. Johnson to the far side, looking for space. Johnson fires towards goal, and that one ricochets over here to the near side. Gerwitz walks the line, takes it towards the straightaway point, instead hands it off to Poisson. She gives it back to the skate of Gerwitz. Down low it goes to Brennan. Backhanded blindly into the middle. Somebody's lost their twig. I believe that's an Indiana Tech player. See if Maryville can take advantage. No, that was actually Poisson that lost the stick. Second time in the game that she's dropped the twig. Off the dashers from Gerwitz, intended for Poisson, but it's knocked down. Indiana Tech looking to clear. Second attempt by Episcopal gets it out. Now Maryville with space in front. Here comes St. Louis. Numbers charging forward in white. St. Louis from the goal line in front. They couldn't get a shot away. O'Leary had her pocket picked, and the Warriors will clear. So now this sets up for a very interesting final 16 minutes. Does Indiana Tech just try to clamp down on the defensive end, or do they look for an insurance goal? Scraped off the wall. O'Leary drags it back into the corner. In a positioning match there with Terpstra. Warriors find a seam on the near side. Slapped towards goal by Green, but blocked by McGowan. She sends it back over towards the near side. Rutherford couldn't clear it up the wall. 15:40 left to go as Rutherford ran out of space. Had to try to slip it up the far side. One-time pass finds Dawson. She goes up the middle. It did not connect with Brennan, so it'll be an icing call, and the clock stops with 15:24 left to go in the third. The lone shot on goal for the Indiana Tech Warriors has hit the back of the net here in the third period. Things are tied up off the draw. Saints get it out. Penham Shan comes back in her own zone. Cross ice, it goes to Moore. She comes up the middle, intended for Juszczyk, but in behind her. She's able to shuffleboard one towards goal. Coming out of the crease is Duncan, and she'll cover it up. So a lot of stoppages here in the last few moments. Not too much time has ticked off the clock each time. 15:06 left to go here in the third. Plenty of time for a comeback attempt here from the Saints. But despite their efforts, as my voice is starting to betray me here, they have not been able to beat Mackenzie Adley except for the one time. Calverda put it up the wall. Green gets it down low. Williams tries to seal it off. Instead, Gerwitz slams it up the dashers. It bounces out of the zone. Now here's a little bit of space. 2-on-2 attack come the Saints from the far wing. Off the side of the goal, it actually deflected off the paddle of Mackenzie Adley. Warriors are able to clear. They'll go off for a partial change. Trying to find some space. Here's Kelsel from the circle. Shot on. Didn't have too much behind that one. Blowing a tire is Yakachuk. Warriors still in possession of it, though, inside their own zone. Yakachuk is back up on her feet. Has it at center ice. It's filtered through to Penham Shan on the far wing. She'll take a wrister. Penham Shan, quite similar to Rutherford, both in stature and demeanor. And what I mean by that is I guess you'd almost call them water bug players. They never seem to stop skating as Penham Shan is knocked down. The referee says no penalty. This one too close for comfort as it went into the slot. Cooper gets away with a skate a little bit too close there, but no harm, no foul as Adley had it covered up. 13:32 left to go here. It's a one-goal game with Indiana Tech on top. Good face-off win for Stelzer. Here's Furbett. Winds up, took the wrister. That one goes wide. Dawson keeps it in. And it slips away from St. Louis. Borland sends it around. Catches up to it in behind the net. Plays it off the back of the cage. Williams catches up to it on the near side. Pushed in towards the circle. Ricochets around. Closing in on 7 minutes played here. Williams takes a spill. She was kind of looking at the officials. Now her stick is being held a little bit by Furbett. Furbett rides Williams into the boards. The referee being pretty lenient here. 12:47 left to go in the period. Players falling all over. Furbett wants a call. She's tied up. Believes that's still Williams. Williams is like, get off of me. Shot comes up high. Dawson took it off the shoulder blade. Now Furbett, a little bit of space, skates it out of the defensive zone, up to Brooks at the blue line. She couldn't have too much possession time there. Duncan will stop that one as it was feathered in towards goal. Covers up with 12:11 left to go in the third. Saints send it down the ice. Poussin may have gotten too much on that one, and it is going to be an icing call. So, again, not too much time taken off the clock. 12 minutes even now. Saints in a 1-goal deficit. Indiana Tech trying to hold on. They've done a good job in the last, well, definitely the last couple minutes of real time, but hard to tell with game time. But overall, they've done a good job. Now they spring the attack. Here's Poussin. The goaltender comes out late, sweeps it in behind the goal, and that allowed the defender to get back. That was Moore who came around the backside and was able to pick up that puck from her goaltender. Don't often see the goaltenders come out that far and that late. But it ended up being a good decision from Mackenzie Adley. Episcopo sweeps it into the zone, curls back to get in defensive position. Saints cannot clear it up the wall. Kelso catches up to it on the far side. Just kind of pitchforked that up. It's tied up in front of the Maryville bench. Rutherford guides it out of the zone. Rutherford sweeps it in on the backhand. Rutherford hauled down from behind. Saints are going to go back to the power play. We've kind of reached critical mass here for the Saints on the power play. This is their 6th opportunity. And eventually, if Indiana Tech is going to go to the box this much, from the Maryville perspective, you've got to make them pay eventually. Obviously, the power play does not operate in a vacuum. So the penalty kill for Indiana Tech has done its job quite well, in fact. As they're up on the bench, slamming their sticks on the boards, trying to get their penalty-killing teammates amped up to finish this one off. But the Saints would desperately like to get one here on the player advantage. Gerwitz from the point, far side. That one slips under the stick of Poisson. Gerwitz comes near wing to Johnson. Gerwitz straight away. Has to tap one over. Poisson wasn't expecting it, and the pass was too far. She did good to keep it away from the defender, though. Johnson gets it towards the 5-hole. Slamming it shut, though, was Adley. Gerwitz down towards Johnson. Came from the angle, but shot it to the middle of the goal, so that was always going to be difficult to score on. And it ends up right in the middle of Adley's jersey. 1:22 left in the power play, 10:16 left in the period. Saints win the draw. Toole gets it to the far side, but O'Leary wasn't expecting it. Brooks from the corner. Episcopo blows a tire. That allows Maryville to get in control of the puck again. Brooks hits the brakes through the wickets of O'Leary. It's filtered through to St. Louis. Cross ice for O'Leary just outside the circle. On the half wall, O'Leary gets it into the mixer. They jab at it. It's loosened some skates, and lunging out is Adley to cover. 54 seconds left now in the power play. Rutherford puts on. Gerwitz, Johnson, and I believe that's Brennan on the far side. They are their power play attackers for the Saints. 9:48 to go in the period. Gerwitz flips one towards goal, rattles around here to the near side. Brennan tries to cut it off. Gerwitz slams her body up against the boards, but Indiana Tech ends up with it. It's off the body of Rutherford, though. She kept it in for the moment. Another opportunity, almost taken out, shorthanded for Williams again. 30 seconds left in the power play. Rutherford in control. She'll skate right up the seam. Here comes Brennan on the near wing. Drops it for Johnson. Gerwitz puts one towards goal. It was deflected and a save made by Adley. Poisson carries around. Gerwitz skate to stick. Far side now for Johnson from the face-off dot. That one knocked wide. Poisson trying to scoop it in. Adley got a piece of it. Johnson off the boards. Brendan down low. Now we're back to 5-on-5. Saints have to be careful now. Pushing up the ice. Going rink wide. It's Pedham Shan on the far side. Johnson back to defend. Rutherford got kind of crisscrossed there. Couldn't get her stick down to pick up that loose puck. Yonker comes near side to Yakachuk. Fires it in. Glove down by Duncan, and she'll hold. That one looked like it was going to go wide, but the statistician being a little friendly there, giving another save to Sawyer Duncan. 8:31 to go here in the period. Saints were initially kind of trying to decide who was going to take that face-off. It's ultimately won by Emily Toole. They scrum for it just inside the blue line. Tossing goes rink wide. This one's going to ricochet into the zone. Callhammer comes in. The goaltender's out. Oh, and it's put wide. I don't know if Adley got a piece of it. I think she probably did as she scrambled back into position. It's still loose in the slot. And the Saints fans thought that was the equalizer, but not to be had. Here comes Dawson, a hard off the boards. Callhammer's in. Flips one towards goal, trying to fool the goaltender with a little bit of a bouncer, but sticked away. Knocked down by Stelzer, but intercepted, and Anderson heads off the other way. Onside play. Saints play it off the near side wall. Stelzer steps onto it. Feathers one up for McGowan. She fires one in. St. Louis came in on the forecheck, but all for naught as it's covered up by the goaltender with 7:25 to go. Yonker just kind of kicked it around. This one sent down the ice. Wasn't going to be an icing call, so Duncan played it. Saints don't clear. Pedham Shan just blocked it on the far side and bounced one in behind the goal. Gerwitz to O'Leary and then filtered through to Cooper, but it was too far behind. Pitchforked ahead. Now Cooper's on the puck. Into O'Leary. She tries to slam it in and runs into the goaltender in the process. Net is dislodged. So we will have a stoppage with 6:44 to go. Saints are doing their best to find an equalizer here. They want to tie things up and give themselves enough time to look for a game winner, but right now they cannot solve the puzzle that is Mackenzie Adley. Now Williams comes in on her off wing. Thought about peeling back. Instead drives in behind the net. Gerwitz puts a stick in there. Deflected puck over back towards the near corner. Green carries around to the point now. Episcopo slips it down low for Williams. She's in behind the goal. Backhands one to the far half wall. Picked up by Toole, but cannot send it out. Cross corner dump as it comes to the near side. Gerwitz off the skates of Brennan. It does escape the zone. Toole dusts it over here to the near side. Brennan sent it back. Gerwitz will pick it up. Under 6 to go. Stretch pass finds Brennan. She comes in. Numbers advantage in favor of Indiana Tech, though. Passan gives the obligatory poke check attempt. Came up empty. In between the wickets of Brennan, this will be, no, they're going to wave off icing. So Saints allowed to complete a line change. 5:25 to go. Indiana Tech sends one up through the middle. Stick down by Yakachuk, otherwise it might have been an icing. Brooks, a little bit of a slash along the stick, got away with it. Check is going to ice this one unless this goes on goal. It does not. So the Saints with an opportunity perhaps with a tired group of Warriors if they can win the faceoff and get a quick shot on. These two teams will face off against each other again tomorrow afternoon, so not even a full 24 hours in between. So we're going to get a timeout taken by Coach Scott Hicks to give his players a bit of a respite. 5:02 left to go here in the third period, so a good timeout taken by Indiana Tech, not wanting to leave things to chance this late. So once again, it'll be tomorrow afternoon, game number 2 of this 2-game set between these two teams. 1:15 is the scheduled puck drop. Shots now 34-15 in favor of Maryville, so they've got 10 shots on goal here in the third, compared to just 3 for Indiana Tech. And sometimes that can be difficult for a goaltender. Sawyer Duncan hasn't faced too many shots. The most, in fact, at least thus far, came in the first period when she faced 7. But so far, Indiana Tech has made the most out of their opportunities. They tied things up in the second. Williams got a shorthanded goal here in the third. Both coming with a little over 12 minutes elapsed in each period. And the Saints still looking to tie it up. Brought up the wall by Green as she outduels McGowan. The shot was initially blocked. Williams sends it back towards goal. We get a whistle, and there's a penalty called with 4:49 left to go here in the third. This one is going to be a big one for Maryville. They're going to be shorthanded. And again, body checking is the call. Indiana Tech to their third power play. Morgan McGowan into the sin bin. She's still kind of looking around like, what did I do? So even if the Saints can kill this one off, there'll only be 2:49 left in the period unless they can get a shorthanded goal of their own. Williams digs it out of the skates of the defender. Outside the circle, drops it for Terpstra. Williams takes a spill. Saints are going to be down by 2 players now. Coach Hicks, I believe, or somebody over on the bench was yelling to give the puck up. Finally, the Saints touch it. And Rutherford is going to go to the box. And she is heated. Coach Tommy Lang is not happy with the call either. But you got to be careful in this scenario. You don't want to go 3 players in the box on an unsportsmanlike call and then give them 2 full minutes of 5-on-3. It's going to be close enough as it is. 5-on-3 attack for 139. And then McGowan will be able to come out of the box unless Indiana Tech scores. Obviously, from the Saints' perspective, they don't want that to happen. Face-off win initially for Maryville, but Kelso couldn't clear it out. It was walled off. Yakachuk drops it back. Episcopo with the shot through traffic, and Duncan makes the save. 4:16 left to go. Only 12 seconds came off the clock. Whistle to whistle. Johnson in on the face-off dot, but Pedamshan wins it. They come to Yakachuk on the near side. She fires it up high. It's off the blocker and out of play. Good stand-up save. A little bit of old-school goaltending there from Sawyer Duncan. A lot of times you'll see the goaltenders go down as soon as they see the player wind up. But Duncan stood her ground and was able to make the blocker save on that attempt. Puck bouncing around. Johnson can't clear as the puck was fluttering on her. Ricochet play. It ends up off the side of the goal. Terpstra steps in towards the slot. Deflected around. Saints send it over towards the near side. Terpstra holds it in from the high slot to Williams on the circle, and finally cleared out by Johnson. Coach Lang trying to instruct who he wants out there on the ice. They need to get things decided here, otherwise they're going to end up with too many players. 40 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Green carries around towards the far corner. To the circle. Yakachuk peels it back from the high slot. Yakachuk shot high off the glass. Ricochets back out in front. 23 seconds left in the 2-man advantage. Yakachuk from the near circle. Finds a little bit of space and a pad save made. Rebound stopped by Duncan as well. Quality goaltending from the Saints, keeping it alive for their team. 15 seconds left until McGowan can escape the box. Pedamshan comes in against Brennan. Linesman moves Juszczyk out of the circle. Saints couldn't get it much past the defense. Juszczyk. And they deflect it, score! The shot from the far circle ends up going off a body and in. It looks like they're going to credit it to Lauren Yonker. And the power play goal has given a 2-goal lead now to Indiana Tech. So special teams has basically been the key to this game. They will remain on the power play for another 24 seconds, as that one will be credited as a 5-on-3 goal. So Junker on the power play. 17:09 is the time of the goal. 2:45 left to go here in the period. And this is shaping up to be a rather disappointing result for the Maryville Saints. Obviously, Indiana Tech more than happy to get the W no matter how it comes about. But the Saints, to their credit, have outplayed Indiana Tech for long stretches. So we get an icing call here. But they couldn't find the finish. Some good saves by Adley and some missed opportunities for the Saints as well have kind of spelled doom for this result from a Maryville perspective. Rutherford comes in on the face-off. It falls to Toole. She put it back to the point, but Gerwitz wasn't expecting it to come her way. 2:05 left to go in the third period. A bouncer out to center. Rutherford picks it up. Turns on the afterburners. On or off wing. Wanted to go back to the forehand. Instead, it was knocked down. They find Gerwitz. She'll take a high slapper. That's hard off the blocker. You hear the save echo throughout the Maryville University Hockey Center. A back-checking poke attempt from Toole came up empty. Pettimshan will just guide it in as there's 95 seconds remaining. So now for Maryville, if they look forward to tomorrow, it's all about how you answer. Now, in terms of Indiana Tech getting the tying goal, Saints were obviously unable to answer in terms of this game. But how do you bounce back in the next one? That's going to be up to Coach Lang and his players. More so on the players, obviously. Can't put your head down. Can't feel like you played a really good game and just didn't get the results. You got to come back even harder tomorrow afternoon. The offense was there. The defense was good, but Indiana Tech has definitely made the most of their opportunities. Here's Poisson with a little bit of space, and then her shot was blocked as she was closed down by Junker. Episcopo kicks it away. Green carries up the near side. 30 seconds left. So Indiana Tech is going to improve to 25-4. They have picked up their 12th road win of the season. St. Louis with a wrister up high, glove down. Rebound couldn't be controlled, but the Saints have to just kind of push it around the perimeter. 7 seconds left. A stick battle along the far side. O'Leary sweeps it down low. The sticks are banging for Indiana Tech because they are victorious by a final score of 3-1. Maryville outshoots them 36-19. So an interesting game from the Indiana Tech perspective, as they only end up with a total of 7 shots as their period high point. But they made the most of each opportunity, getting 3 goals, 1 in the second, 2 in the third for the victory. A disappointing night for Coach Tommy Lang and his Maryville Saints as they fall to 12-13-3, and they are now 500 at home with a 5-5-2 record here at the Maryville University Hockey Center. Wrapping up things, running down the scoreline for you. Sarah Brooks scored at 19:25 of the first period. Momentum swinging first goal of the game, but it would be Indiana Tech that would answer. Nesbitt with the lone goal of the second at 12:19. And then the shorthanded goal, that was really the backbreaker here. As the Saints were on the power play, the shot from Dawson was blocked, and then Williams went the full length of the ice and was able to beat the goaltender for a shorthanded goal, 2:12 the time of Williams' score. And then the 5-on-3 power play goal from Junker made it 3-1. And that would be all she wrote. Saints end up with 36 shots to 19 for Indiana Tech, but all that is for naught as the Warriors win by 2 goals. We hope you'll join us tomorrow afternoon. The puck will drop between these two teams again right here on the Maryville Saints Hockey Network at 1:15 local time. So until then, for everybody here, for Eric Skelton making us look good behind the scenes, we hope you enjoyed tonight's contest. I've been Todd Panula. Have a good night, everyone.